Nobody's saying that, but it's just that.
And it's not in the contemporaries in Rivers. TV. This is the Pundit. The Nigerian political sphere is always filled with stories and questions of who should have worth and who should own worth. Today, we are looking at a man who threw in his ambition to run for the presidency of Nigeria, and the entire Nigeria political sphere has not been the same again. Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Who is afraid of him, and why? We ask. With me in the studio for the Pundit, I have two gentlemen. I'll let them do the honors of introducing themselves to you. Sir, can we meet you?
Michael Daniels is my name.
Sir?
Douglas Murphy is my name.
Alright. These are people that truly know about Nigerian politics. Mr. Douglas, I would like to start with you. Since Tinubu declared for his ambition, the whole political space seems to have changed. How and why?
Well, one thing about this man you call Tinubu, you say who's afraid of him or why? A lot of people in the streets, everybody, every Nigerian, from the head down to the poor, are afraid of man because he don't have a credible ability to lead people. What am I saying? Because this man has not even, right from 1999, that this man has come to be a Lagos state governor, from there they move on, and so forth. There's no credibility and a rulership candidate that credibility that you can see from this man. So any man that sees that this man is coming to be a president, he will look at the past, what he has been doing, and what he has been giving the nation, and what he has been giving the state, and look at it and say, this very man, is it coming to be our president? No, we are in a problem. So everybody in the states, in the federal, are afraid of this man because he don't have a credibility to lead the nation.
Alright, Mr. Michael, he said he does not have credibility, but we remember he is the only governor that stood against Obasanjo and survived for how many years without federal allocation, and then he was generating income for Lagos. So if he could do it for Lagos and he used his influence to make other states, other governors follow him, why can't we give him a chance so that his creativity and intelligence will turn Nigeria economy around?
Thank you very much. Who is afraid of Bola Tinubu? In my opinion, I think the northern blocks, the political blocks in the northern part of the country, seems to be more afraid of the man Bola Tinubu, and the reason is obvious. Over the years, we have always seen a pattern that when power comes down to the south, it is always to somebody that is not politically sound, in quote, someone that doesn't have that political weight to be the president from the south.
But let me cut you there. But from every indices, we know Tinubu is a maverick. He has the master stroke. Why can't we give him the chance?
Of course, it is his right to be candid. It is his fundamental human right to contest or to vote and be voted for. He's a Nigerian, and if he meets the qualification of being a president of our nation, why not? But basically, there are fears in certain quarters that this individual knows too much, politically speaking, and putting a political power in the hands of such individual seems to be too much for certain categories of
It doesn't mean he has too
people.
much power already. So if we give him the legal rights, we are going to be in trouble.
I quickly make an instance. Let's look at Lagos State. Don't forget, Asiwaju was a governor in this same state.
Yes, he turned it around.
99 and all of that. Ever since Asiwaju, look at everyone that has been the governor of Lagos State.
Yes.
Most of the time, they are not big-time politicians. Oftentimes, they are technocrats. And you cannot take out the hand of this same man from who has always been the governor of Lagos State. It is the same thing that is playing out nationally. He is not too comfortable with having somebody that is politically sound. As I said earlier, somebody with that weight to succeed him, and up to now, we don't have such individual. So it is the same thing that is playing out nationally now. Certain quarters feels that with a political power in the hands of somebody that is an heavyweight, politically speaking, it may be too much for him.
Okay, so Mr. Douglas, now we have always had an issue of not having a president who can maneuver our problems to pull us out of this economic quagmire. Now, if we have a man like Tinubu that has been able to prove in Lagos State that he can do it, I know how to use all these things you are seeing as nothing and turn it to money. Should we all not join hands and make him our president?
Thank you. You said, like you said earlier, that he was the one that stood in the front of Obasanjo, and then he was denied
something that has never been done before.
Allocation. You see, then Eddie man, even though he's a blind man, give him Lagos State. Give him Lagos State, whosoever. Give him Lagos State, whosoever. Whether it's a poor man, whether it's a cripple in the street, with whatever that the revenue generation that is coming out from Lagos State, it can make Lagos State to be what we want Lagos State to be without federal allocation. Why? Tinubu come to bring out some other local councils based on what he want to gain about it. And then moving from there now, so the state, the federal knows about this and said, okay, because of this, I will not give you. If it is already somebody who want to serve the nation, he would have based his word and said, without this, I will not be able to move Lagos State. But based on, because you know the strategic point that he made is going to favor him in the future. Like what we're saying now, based on everything that comes out from Lagos, whatever you do, you sell pure water, you pay a tax. Whatever you do, you pay a tax. And all this money is going out not to the federal, but it's going out to somebody. Because I know when we come to Secretariat of APC there some time ago, where they wanted to come and do a convention there, and Tinubu stand and bring out a handkerchief in his pocket. He said, look at this handkerchief. This is how Lagos State wants it in my pocket. So how then do you want us to support somebody who have hold a whole people, individual, somebody is supposed to serve, people that is supposed to serve, that take them as some people that who have potential, you know, and credibility, and he said, all of you are inside my pocket. So what about if we give you a platform to run in the federal? Is it not going to be that the whole Nigeria have been entered into a lagoon?
Okay, Mr. Douglas, you are smiling. Can I ask a question? People have ruled Lagos after Tinubu.
Yes.
And people rose up and cried that they could not do a pinch of what Tinubu achieved. So does it not say something to you that the man has is a maverick. He has something on his head or in his brain that he used to turn Lagos around. That if we give him a chance in Aso Rock, he will turn the nation around and will stop over independent on oil, and other things will be, other doors will be open for our economy and the youth.
Okay. Well, I think what we have had over the years is that he was instrumental in putting up the master plan of Lagos. The implementation of most of the things was not actually done by him. What we have always had is that
he drew the map.
He was instrumental. Probably the brain. I stand to be corrected.
Yeah.
Probably the brain behind that master plan of Lagos, which is now being implemented by subsequent administration. So if you can't take that out from such an individual. There are people that have different other opinions about him. It's normal. Even Abacha in his days has followers. It is normal. People will have divergent opinion when it comes to things like this. But if such a person was part of the master plan, or the brain behind the master plan, is now trying to seek to be the president of our nation, as I said earlier, it is absolutely his right to do so. But those fears will not go away. Those people that feels that he shouldn't be there or shouldn't be given the opportunity to aspire to such a position will always be there. But it won't take out the weight of this individual as a politician. It won't take out some of the things.
He is a giant.
Exactly. It won't
He knows what he's doing.
He does. There's nothing you can do about all of that. It's a fact. You can't say who is this politically. You cannot. But there will always be fears about some of those things that my colleague have also expressed in terms of how is this person really captured Lagos State when he was a governor, and for the fact that he's still instrumental to whoever becomes the governor afterwards. A lot of people are not comfortable with that, and for that it's a no for such individuals.
Okay, there are some issues I've read on social media. Some commentators have asked that his age alone is an issue. Why can't we have a young president? Just like the issue we have in Ukraine, they have a humongous crisis, but their president is youthful, he's young, he is always alive 24/7. Should we give Nigeria to the hands of Tinubu? Do you think he will be responsible and strong enough to do the needful if we have any national crisis?
As you rightly said, Nigeria does not belong to one person. Anybody that have intention to run in a political office and then you are qualified, you have every right to do so. But in terms of other relative issues, that what you said, I think it's a high time we look at ourselves and then think about the young generation that are coming. People who will be competent, people who will be, their mindset will be speed driving because of this 21st century economy. We need people that have the foresight of how to run the economy. Tinubu, if he's a very sharp man, he has the foresight. But talk about sometimes you cannot take elsewise, you cannot take it away. Sometimes you have the problems of health. So we have to choose a young people with a fresh blood who's not going to give up either in 1 a.m., 2 a.m. every time. Then they have the way to bring back everything, the memory of this country, the strategies of how we're supposed to look like based on whatever that we have as resources, mineral resources in this continent to bring it now to benefit the nation Nigeria. I think that in this time, they are young generation and they are young people that we need to look on for them to be able to do what.
All right, my chairman, you are a very religious person. I want to ask a question. You know, when Tinubu became the governor of Lagos, he is the first Muslim and governor that built a worship center for Christians. Does it not say something to you that he's going to be giving everybody free access, free opportunities, instead of all these crises up and down we are having? Why can't you give him at least for that? Should we not give him an opportunity?
For putting up probably a chapel, I don't know the one you are referring to.
He has showed a conclusive spirit.
Okay, for putting up probably a chapel within the government house and all of that. I think for me, he hasn't done anything extraordinary. This is a secular state. Nigeria is a secular state, and people have rights to practice whatever religion they believe in, of which the major ones are Islam and Christianity. So he hasn't done anything spectacular. That should be the norm. That is what should be happening across the states of this nation.
Okay, now, Mr. Michael, if we take away Tinubu,
can I just tip something there before you ask me a question? In the Bible, let me say something. Jesus, a young man, a rich man, he come to meet Jesus. I want to make heaven. I have kept this law. Jesus said, go and keep all this law. He said, I have kept all this law. He said, go and sell all you belonging and give it to the poor. And the countenance of this guy changed because he know the status of what he want. And based on every references they give to him is based on who he is in the society and what he has acquired. And then he left. In with the countenance being faulty. So I know, can somebody like Tinubu, can he now, somebody who have acquired a lot of things, you have a lot of money, you have a lot of wealth, a lot of position, which other people belong to other people, and can he sell it and give it to the poor if you really want to serve? Ruling or having being a president, you have to be a servant to the people. If really you want to be a servant to the people, want to serve people, I don't see it taking any. They asked one person, I will not mention the name. He's only claiming his intention to go for the presidency. He's a young man. He's a competent man. To me, he left for me. That is somebody I will look at. I will not mention the name. He said, this person. Why do you go to the inauguration party to this person now, impelling his mind to go for it? He said, I will go. This is the way I play my politics because I want to serve. So anybody that claims his intention to go, means if I have intention to go, it does not make us enemy. But rather because I want to serve. If he wins kudos, if I win kudos, because we only want to achieve one thing, to serve the nation.
My question, he has spoken well, but my question to you, if I ask you, take away Tinubu out of the political equation, who do you see that is the best man apart from Tinubu?
That's a tough one. So that I wouldn't be using this platform for campaign or a kind of endorsement of anyone. I think there are several competent
young men.
Okay, you said young. If I want to express my opinion concerning that, I have always been an advocate of young and responsible. It is not just young that qualifies you to lead.
You're responsible.
You must have capacity for the assignment you are aspiring to get, and be responsible enough to handle such assignment. So when I hear people just brandish this young thing, there are too many irresponsible young people. Just the way we have young people that are doing excellently well in our nation. So what qualifies you is not just because you are young, but you have what it takes.
Energy.
You have the energy, you have the capacity, please.
And the intelligence.
The capacity to do the job. It's a job. It's a job to do. It's not just occupying an office.
Mr. Douglas, I want to turn to you for one reason. We should not only look at young. Is it not time we give chance to women?
For today, well, if you said for today, as long as I don't know, I stand to be corrected, and it's my opinion. Now in Nigeria, women can never occupy that position. This is my opinion.
Why?
I've said it.
Why? What are the gates blocking them?
Because the politics in Nigeria, or Africans as a whole, have been forced like men are the people that occupy that position. For a woman, even though I know for somewhere, because even though in terms of the old times, let me use, because I like using the Bible sometimes, because in the olden days, they said a nation where woman they rule is caused by God, or a young people, small people. It's God that. So, but I'm not saying that. But what I'm trying to say, that is what people in Nigeria have been capitalizing on. Or some people will say it's wrong for a woman to climb a pulpit to speak to people. It's not that. All that,
The women heal, they preach excellently well.
So, but some people said it is limited to them, and I begin to speak to them. Because Paul said this, said this. But what I am trying to tell you concerning Nigeria, that is the level of their understanding. Because God will never deal with you more than the level of your understanding. And every individual will not come to give whatever he has not been able to achieve in his memory. Because what you give is what you have in your memory. And then you structure it and bring it now and become what? It become a result. So now for women to come into politics, they will come maybe times in the future. But for now, they just need to follow the procedure, move with the people, do some things that would one day will see them getting onto that top. But for now, it is not yet time to.
Sorry, permit me to
Yes, sir.
to vent my opinion along that gender issue.
Because be careful, let women look at us like chauvinistic people.
Exactly, so that we are not seen to be gender biased.
Yes.
In my view, there are several competent women in this country that can go as far as being the president of our nation. It's just because we have been.
The best banks in Nigeria are run by women.
Very well. I mean, I was about citing that about 5, if I stand to be corrected, about 5 CEO of major banks in this nation have been run by women. So, I mean, it's about management. Even the office of the president is an administrative office. It's about knowing what to do, putting, the right people in the right places.
Round pegs in round holes.
Exactly, and to get results. It's just because we are in an environment where we don't even measure performance. It's as bad as that. Ministries, agencies, you ask, who is measuring performance? Is it just about defending a budget and just going about and implement it and come back and say, okay, this is what we have spent? Just throw money around. Who is checking what has been done? Who is putting timeline about those things? Nobody is doing all of that. And that is why the private sector will always be different from the public sector. That is why they get results more. in the private. It's just
And
an
they are still
attitude.
the same Nigerians.
The same Nigerians. Just the difference is just attitude to work, attitude to what they are doing.
Okay, well, Mr. Michael, our time is almost up, but I want to ask both of you, moving ahead, how and what should we do to get the right political leaders come 2023?
First of all, is the transformation of the mind. Because if you see average people in the street, tell them, you have your PVC, when it is time to vote. You say, my vote no dey count, I know to go. So until we have that kind transformation of the mind, that one thing I believe that my vote would count. That is why the people would always come to me. In the, you know, when it is time for election, the political people will come to me. The political leaders will say, how you say you get PVC, do this one. That is my vote count. So if I begin to transform my mindset and believe that my vote count, and I need to go out there and then elect somebody who I see that is incredible, a candidate, somebody who have the competence, who have the economical structure to lead the nation, to move the nation, then I put my vote for that person. Another thing is for we as an individual who have seen this, because a lot of things is all about, it's all about awareness. You know, people need to be aware. A lot of people are not just aware; their mindset have been corrupted. So you need to transform their mind by, giving them awareness, teaching them, enlightening them that no, don't be like that. Let's go and have PVC. We'll vote. Our vote will count. Let them have the sense of belonging and feel that their vote is count. So that when we go out in masses and then say no to the people, to the fox that have been eating the vineyard, that will see, and then re-elect somebody that will see that yes, Nigeria, a continent like Nigeria, which have milk and honey, supposed not to suffer, but to be the eyes of all wherever the world will be. So that is my own contribution. Continue the way to move Nigeria. Let us go out in mass and let there be a kind of orientation program.
Mr. Mike, what's your take on how we can get credible political leadership come 2023? Let us not make the same mistake we have been making over the years.
Thank you. I think INEC has a lot of work to do. I know some of those things are terribly beyond them. Our political system has been heavily monetized. It's almost becoming the highest bidder getting stealing the show. And those areas INEC must consciously deal with it. I know we have them in our status book, even in the laws and all of this, but who is implementing? It's not just about having those things written down as laws. When a law is not implemented, it is as good as dead. So who is monitoring these political parties in terms of what they are spending? For instance, you look at some of the amounts that people are going to get their nomination forms and all of that. Some of those figures are unnecessary. If you really want a level playing field for competent people, some people are competent but they don't have such humongous amount to throw around, so they would rather stay back. So consciously, our political operators over the years are so much monetize the space, so that certain individual will cut off automatically. They won't be able to come around because of some of the things they have put in place within the political space. So these are areas that INEC must consciously deal with, so that credible people can begin to come within the political space.
All right, thank you very much. Well, this has been the Pundit. It's a platform where we look for solutions to all our problems. You are a Nigerian, I am a Nigerian. Nobody can come and fix Nigeria for us. except you stand up aright and do the right thing. Join us next time next week. Gentlemen, it's been good having you on the show. Thank you very much, sir. All right, sir.
Nobody's saying that, but it's just that
and it's not in the contemporarism.
you can get
Rivers State.
Nobody's saying that, but it's just that
And it's not in the contemporarism.
you can get
Rivers State.